Hello everyone. Welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining today. This is going to be a reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Descendant. Now, before you see all of the cards on the table, please let me explain. I was in the middle of a reading and I got distracted by something, and essentially I needed to pause the video. Unfortunately, instead of hitting the play video button, I decided to actually end the previous recording. So instead of trying to stitch these two together and dealing with the long headache of that, I'm going to go ahead and just pick up from where I left off. I promise you, I haven't left these cards out to just kind of deceive you in any way, but we're going to go ahead and see what we can get from the rest of the reading. I do not want to waste the previous reading as well. Plus, we were kind of on a roll, and there are some synchronicities between the Capricorn reading and the Virgo reading as well. So if you have Virgo in your chart, please have a look at that video before or after you watch this one. So we're going to go with the order of the day once again. We're going to just start tabula rasa with the exception of the cards. Firstly, if you like this reading and other videos here on this channel, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And additionally, if you would like a personal reading with me, we have updated the YouTube channel again, finally, with a Google Forms document. What that's going to do, that's going to take you straight to the form used for booking all the readings. So everything's consolidated and a bit more clear than the previous Blink profile that I had there. That's going to allow you to just kind of book exactly which kind of reading you want for how much, and then you can send the money via PayPal. That said, we're going to go ahead and look quickly at some of the astrological transits taking place at this particular time. The first is Mercury retrograde in Leo, which is it took place, or it kicked off basically on the 12th of August, and that's going to go on for a few weeks. And of course, before that, that normally indicates that there's going to be a shadow period leading up to the 12th, and then we're full on into the Mercury retrograde for that period of time, and then after it subsides, there'll be another shadow period. So check your electronics, watch out for those sneaky spying X's and all those other dastardly things that happen during the Mercury retrograde that people talk about. I personally think I'm doing all right in the Mercury retrograde period, considering that I do have a Virgo moon, Mercury in Gemini opposite Uranus, which makes my mental energy a little bit ADD, but it's all in good fun and faith. So the other transit that we have here is the Venus in Virgo transit, which is going to take place around August 29th. Once Venus enters into Venus in Virgo, it's going to allow people to have a bit more discernment and be a little bit pickier with the options that they take in love, romance, and also work, because this is also Venus, which rules money as well. Our relationship to externalities, which are people, places, and things. And then Mars in Gemini is going to continue until September 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Please don't quote me on that. It could either be kicking off on September 4th or concluding at September 4th. But the best thing that I recommend that you do is go on astro.com. I'm going to recommend that for getting your birth chart, looking at the transits taking place for your sign, as well as for those in the heavens themselves. So, Capricorn, let's get started. Looking at what we had in the cards, I'm going to start with the bottom of the deck, which was the Sun. And essentially what the Sun talks about is being able to get clear and focused on some of the things that are coming to light. It's kind of the illumination card, no pun intended. However, we have the Sun at the bottom of the deck, which means that you're going to be moving soon into greater times, or at least a bit more clarity life-wise or even feelings-wise. Because what I see in the center of the reading here is that you have the Ten of Cups in the reverse, and the challenge being the Six of Swords. And I think that this challenge here is in the reverse as well. So it's kind of a person who has difficulty moving on from something, which is creating a lot of the unhappiness that they are seeing here and there. It could also indicate to me that someone is on their way to an Eight of Swords moment, because you have the Six of Swords, it then goes into the Seven of Swords, which is kind of self-sabotage, and then that then goes into the Eight of Swords, where you kind of create this mental prison for yourself. So it could be a warning to you to just kind of say, like, hey, be mindful of the thoughts that you carry. Normally, the Six of Swords is about crossing over from a difficult path into into more calmer waters. And for you specifically, what I notice is that if this is in the reverse, then what you want to do is to basically kind of tame those thoughts and be able to stay on the path of getting peace and harmony within your intellectual sphere, which would cross from a more difficult side into a more peaceful side as well. So that said, we go into the first card, which is the card taking place in the recent past. This was the Page of Wands. Basically, the Page of Wands insinuates someone who is kind of on a new journey taking place in their life. And for this particular path that you took, let's clarify. Okay, so we have the Tower and the Six of Pentacles. I'm not saying this is kind of a bad thing. With this Tower, normally can indicate unexpected activities taking place. Things are a surprise. I don't see you like losing a ton of stuff or having a horrible Tower moment where everything is destroyed. It typically can just signify, because it's clarifying, the Six of Pentacles here. And this, what it talks about is you receiving an unexpected bonus or kind of sum of money, or a period in which you feel that people are contributing to your well-being and your happiness. This is very good. So I'm not going to really, slag that off too much. You had a period of a new start. You may have actually just kind of embarked on a new journey. You may have traveled a little bit, which allowed for you also at that same period to kind of have an unexpected event where you either received some of money, you received support from others, or perhaps even you're able to kind of save your money up for a rainy day. So if someone contributed that to you, or perhaps you had some contributions from other people, that is basically what it's insinuating. And that's pretty good. That's actually a very good reading. We move on to the future. We talk about the Lovers here, and the Lovers are usually a choice. It's, in the old days, it was all about the choice. Nowadays, they talk about, strong bonds to soulmates and things of that nature. That could be true, but it's still a soul's choice. Clarify the Lovers, clarify the Lovers. Okay, so we got the Sun card again. We have the choice now. Do you stop working on something, or do you continue to be unhappy? I'm thinking that maybe you decided to give to something in the past, and now you're kind of in the moment or in the mood where you're just kind of like, this is becoming a bit of a burden. I don't see the Ten of Wands here, but with this choice, this strong choice that you feel you're going to have to make in the near future. And I can explain this a little bit, because we have the Lovers and then we have Judgment, both of which involve a male and a female and others. And then you have kind of like an angel kind of mediating in the middle. I typically see the Lovers as a choice that you know that you need to make. And then the Judgment is normally a decision that the universe makes for you. And sometimes the Tower can be the ultimate result of that, depending on what kind of choice that is. But we see here in the near future that we talk about you're not wanting to put any effort into something specifically that makes you deeply unhappy. Or clarify one more. Okay, so we have the three swords in the reverse. This could be due to a heartbreak or a loss from someone that you knew in the past that you deeply cared about. Three of Swords normally comes after the Two of Swords, which typically tells about indecision from something, or maybe just waiting period, a period of stagnation. The Three of Swords is normally the last sword that goes in at an angle, and it just, basically pierces the heart, forces the person to experience a stage of heartbreak and grief, sorrow. It could either also be a third party, but I'm not really picking that up from this particular reading. Clarify one more. Yeah, okay. The Devil and the Magician in the reverse. Not very good cards, but I'm going to quickly clarify the Tower and the Six of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, see, it's some kind of sum of money, or something in the past that you received. I'm not saying that's an inheritance or anything, but it could be. And maybe you use this inheritance in the past to actually, build something for yourself, businesses, take trips and travels, kind of, build yourself up. You could have used this to, improve things in your home space, whatnot. Moving into the future, though, however, you have this choice now where it's like the Sun in the reverse, Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. It's almost, from what I get from this, I'm getting the expression like you're tired of the work that you do, almost. And this may be for a very small subset of people actually watching this, but it's like you're tired of the work that you have to do, and you just kind of want to take a step back a little bit. The reason why I say that is because we have the Devil, and then we also have the Magician in the reverse. With the two of these, Devil normally indicates things that you feel tied to, obsessed about, or bound to. Normally, these are things that you can just slip out of. Normally, in the Rider-Waite, the two people, the Adam and Eve characters, they have loosely bound chains on them. And what that insinuates is that these are things that we choose to bind ourselves to. The Devil is also the shadow side of the Lovers. So when you have the Devil, basically it's the carnality, the ties to things that we do in the physical realm, things of that nature. It could also be addictions, unhealthy habits or behaviors and patterns, which it's almost, there's a lot going on in this future. There's a lot going on in this future part. Let's take it back a little bit. You have a choice. You've been very deeply unhappy about this. And what I almost get at this particular point is that the work that you put into something has not come into fruition. However, you're trying to get over the heartbreak of something that you felt deeply tied to and toxic. Something you wanted to manifest, but it never really got off the ground. So say, for instance, you got money in the past to invest in a business. Let's put it in that particular case. And then you invested that money into something, and then you realized that that money had no return on investment. That would be one example of how this would play out. In a relationship case, what it would be is that you got committed to someone. You met unexpectedly, and maybe that, you offered this large pentacle, this Ace of Pentacles, in the form of a marriage. And then, as time passed, you realize how deeply unhappy you were in making that choice, and now you're having to choose. You can either stay where you are, be unhappy, and not make any progress, or you can get rid of this baggage that you've been carrying. And the reason why I say that is because from The Nightmare Before Christmas, the boogeyman was actually just a large bag stuffed with insects and things of that nature. And all the creepy crawlies, people, the fears, the insecurities, the dangers. That's why he's the devil in this card. And what I would suggest to do is, in order to get past this heartbreak, or in order to get past this even betrayal, you would need to let go what it is that you've been pouring your time and money and investing your time, money, and resources into. Because if you are feeling almost like it's been an abject failure, or that you don't have the confidence that you can carry this through. You feel tied and bound to it now, and even more so, you feel like it's causing you a bit of heartbreak. I'm going to clarify with one more card. And here we go. The Ace of Swords. This is the realization that all of this is taking place. We're going to go into the core of this reading, just kind of get some ideas and insights on that. We have the Queen of Pentacles. At the very core of what you were trying to do, you were trying to manifest something that would allow you to have a good quality of life. Sometimes people can start businesses, and what that does is that allows for them to save their money. It allows for them to, accrue resources that they can use towards other projects or even new businesses. Let's clarify that. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So we have 2 twos here, and then Page of Swords in the reverse. So at the core of this, your home life, you feel like there's a lot of juggling that you have to do with this new venture or this new investment. Additionally, you're making a firm decision to kind of keep your distance from this venture as well. So with the Two of Pentacles, typically that entails like dealing with the different aspects of your life that you have to juggle in the physical plane. So this could be money, finances, resources, juggling family and home life. It can also entail, your time, energy, and resources versus your the work that you put into something. So it's about juggling and balancing out your material world. However, with the Two of Swords in the reverse and the Page of Swords in the reverse, what I see I'm almost getting that you're communicating that heartbreak that you're starting to feel from it. I don't know why I'm getting that message, because you have the Page of Swords and then you have the Two of Swords in the reverse, both in the reverse. So that's the Three of Swords in the reverse that we got from the near future. I think what's happening right now is you're coming to terms internally that you're realizing that some of the things that you have put your time, energy, and money into are actually working at your detriment. And additionally, it's taking away from your quality of life. Ironically, you came into it saying, I want a higher quality of life. I want to earn more money, start this business, and then get things off the ground. However, what you're realizing that it's not the case at this point. As a Capricorn, you're finding that the hard work and determination that you put into something is not giving you a proper return on investment. It's actually building that devil energy that you've got there. And sometimes you just kind of want to back away from it and clear your energy so that way you can feel a little bit more at equilibrium. That's the word I'm getting in my mind. Looking at what's known, the energy that's known right here, you have again the Six of Pentacles and you have the Tower. So you have the Tower, Six of Pentacles here. Here you have the Six of Pentacles and then the Tower in the reverse. So what you're trying to do is, without a lack of better words to say it, you're trying to unfuck your financial situation. And, sometimes we do this, with the Tower reverse. It can be a restructuring, internal restructuring of either a business or a company that you are working for, or it can be an internal restructuring of your personal finances. And you're doing this through the help that you're receiving from other people. It's really, really, this is the reason why I didn't want to get rid of the deck. As I'm pulling new cards, they're coming out with the same energy. Tower, Six of Pentacles, Tower. How often does that happen in the synchronicity of anyone's readings? And that's what I love about what I'm doing now. I know, I love tarot. It's such a great tool. It can infuriate me at sometimes when I can't read myself. I have difficulty reading my own readings, for example, depending on what they are. But in other cases, with this, there's such a brilliant synchronicity that it's hard to ignore. And additionally, if you look at with the Virgo reading, you'll probably see similar energies that played out in theirs. So let's move forward to this. Clarify the Tower and the Six of Pentacles. If we get the same cards, you'll know what we're talking about. Bad guy. It's known. Ace of Cups. Fool in the reverse. And the Moon. So what you're doing right now, in order for you to recharge and gain your emotional energy back. At the court, we have Pentacles and Swords. At the crown, we have a little bit of earth, some fire. Ironically, the Tower can also be Scorpio, so that could be cups. So you have mostly cups, air, and water. So cups and water. Cups and air for the most part, with the exception of the Six of Pentacles. What I'm getting from here, in order to get your finances back on track, you're trying to be a bit more conservative with the way that you spend your money, spend your resources and time. You're trying to use your intuition a little bit about that, because with the Fool reverse and the Moon, with those two cards together, what that insinuates is a massive amount of fear. And there's a fear of there's a fear of failure. There's a fear of opening up to people about it. With the Ace of Cups, it's kind of like a new venture. Maybe you could be afraid of just closing up shop and doing something completely different, something that you're more passionate about. Some people are actually afraid of doing the things that they love because they're afraid of losing the comfort and the stability that they've accumulated in the previous ventures that they've undertaken. With this coming out twice, the Tower and the Six of Pentacles, this is about your financial restructuring. So in the past, you were very positive about it. You said, okay, let's do this. We're going to go ahead and get this under control. So you undertook some ideas. You may have had to restructure your business. You may have had to cut people. You may have had to receive loans. Normally with the Ace of Pentacles, that can be a kind of loan. And then with the Ace of Cups, that can be some kind of encouragement, or maybe a new passion, or it could even be love. I don't get any love in this reading per se. But with the Fool and in the reverse and the Moon, that is a person who is not willing to take any risk in fear of, exposure, because the Moon holds hidden things as well. And with the Moon in the reverse, it would be more like being exposed. So it's kind of like you want to keep this under wraps because you're afraid if it gets out, it's like, oh shit, people know that my reputation's damaged. Seeing this as also being in the crown position, this is kind of like in the 10th house, whereas this is in the 4th house when we have like astrological, chart readings. So this will be like the 10th house, that's your house, Capricorn, and this will be the 4th house, which is Cancer. And what we talk about is your public image and the exposure that you give to people outside of your intimate settings. So your career, for example, this would influence your career side or the conscious realm of the actions that you've been taking. So we're going to go quickly into the final outcome, and then after that, we'll pull an oracle message from the Moonology. 3 of Wands of the Emperor, 3 of Wands of the Emperor. 3 of Wands of the Emperor. Okay, so here we go. 3 of Wands and the Emperor. You are taking control of a decision-making process and waiting for those decisions to pan out. 3 of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in because you know that they're coming in, whereas the 2 of Wands normally indicates a choice that you have to make. 3 of Wands comes after making that choice. What we go from there, the Emperor is also about trying to restore order, stability to the endeavors that you have undertaken, taking control of your life. Number 4 for the Emperor being the number of stability. The 4 elements generally: earth, water, fire, and air. Those are the elements that bring stability to the physical realm. We look at these 2 are fire energy, so it's about in the outcome doing your best to take the right actions. You have the Queen of Cups, you have the 3 of Pentacles, and then the 7 of Pentacles. 3 plus 7 equals 10 of Pentacles, and that's what you're aspiring to create again. So what I see as these decisions that you've made within your company, business, or even your personal life, with that restructuring, what you're trying to do is then, with Queen of Cups energy, reflect and meditate on the kind of lifestyle that you want to live. I see this as being a person who is quite materialistic, in the sense not that you only care about physical objects and things, but it's like you base your happiness on the physical realm, the sensual realm, and accumulating resources, accumulating wealth, leaving that legacy, which is a very Capricorn thing to do. And there's no shade there. That's what you were born for. And typically with Capricorns, a lot of the fears that they have, or anyone with like strong Capricorn influences in their chart, they can tend to worry needlessly or become a bit depressed about their financial situation or a lack of progress, because the Capricorn is also the sign in which people want to make incremental progress. That's kind of Knight of Pentacles, plodding through all the difficult shit in life to get to the final destination, which is that 10 of Pentacles that the Capricorn represents. Now, we're going to pull some from the Moonology deck. I'm going to try to see what we can get here as some advice. One more. A new romantic cycle begins. I don't know. We did have the Ace of Cups here, so I think I probably need to clarify that with one more. Clarify with one more. The energy is gaining momentum. So these cards are all over the place. So there's new moon in Libra. and then waxing moon, which means that the energy is, increasing incrementally or slowly. A new romantic cycle begins. So I don't really see this as a romantic cycle. I see this as kind of like you just kind of throwing your hands up and saying, okay, let's work on something new, something that's going to make me feel a bit more passionate about my life instead of burdening me with a lot of troubles and worries. That's kind of what I get from this particular reading. I don't see it as necessarily like you jumping into a love situation to improve your finances, channeling massive gold digger vibes or anything like that. But that's kind of the gist of what I'm getting here. So Capricorn, all in all, if you're worried about restructuring your finances, if you know that a tower moment is coming for your finances and that you need help, firstly, channel those close to you that can help you out. Work with your circle of friends, your networks, people that can actually help you through this difficult issue. Furthermore, moving into the future, do not hold on to things that you need to let go of. Being an earth sign myself, it's important to know when to stop. As a Taurus, basically, I look at things and I see nowadays when I need to cut certain things out. That's one of the reasons why I channel Queen of Swords energy. Whether or not I use my birth chart or I use my adjusted chart, which is based on Vedic astrology, which sets my ascendant back 2 signs to Libra. Queen of Swords energy is very prominent in both my charts. And my Queen of Swords energy sits in my 10th house in my original natal birth chart. Meaning that my outward appearance and my outward legacy that I leave to people is being able to cut through the bullshit and to be very, very tough when it comes to my level of communication in order to make things as clear and precise as possible. And that is backed up with a Mars and a Pluto and a Jupiter in my 10th house. Now, depending on which kind of astro chart that you use, that can put my Mars, Saturn, and Pluto in the same house. So I don't mince my words at all. Looking at this, we know that you're the boss in all of this, but even armies need to know when to retreat, when the losses are too great. The last thing that you want right now is a Pyrrhic victory, and that comes from the old ancient days of Greece, in which Pyrrhus won his victory, and I forget which war it was. It could have been the Peloponnesian Wars or the War of, God, I can't remember that. But if it was the Peloponnesian War, basically it talks about you win the war, but at too big of a cost to everything else that you've kept. It's too many dead horses, too many fallen soldiers. It's time for you to kind of realize when to say when in your battle for victory and success. So anyways, that's pretty much it. This is Aluminum Tower. Thanks so much for joining. If you like this reading and would like to continue to follow the channel, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And additionally, if you'd like a personal reading with me, feel free to fill out the form, put in the description box below. I'm going to switch the Blink card out so that way the new forms can come into shape. That's going to be it for today. Thanks so much. Until next time, love and light.